Hi, this is an object-oriented inventory calculator developed in C#. So let me show you guys how it works. Right down here I have three buttons, and here there's the reset button that clears the whole system, and I can reset the system according to what the customer wants. Supposing I mistakenly or intentionally leave this area blank and enter some other value there, instead of the system to crash, what will happen is the system will actually repopulate the empty cells. So we're going to leave some cells here empty and enter data into some of the other ones here, maybe one or two datas here, and let's click on total. There we go. You see the empty cells, they are now back to 0. So that's how the system works. So we can always click on exit. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into C# development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. Okay guys, let's start a new C# program. Let's click on create new project. Now that the dialog box is ready, let's select C# Windows Forms application, and we give our project a name. I'm going to call it CS underscore object oriented inventory calculator. Right, that's the name of my project. Click on OK. Let's click on save. There we go. Okay, now that my form is ready, I'm going to click on the properties, and right here let's give it a name. That is the name of my product right there. Say it. And now let's change the form size to as follows. Okay, the form size will be 1386 by 788, and right here start position, I'm going to get that centered there. The next thing is to come straight here. Let's grab the panel. There we go. That's our panel there. Let's change the property setting of that panel, the back color, the border style. Let's change that to fixed single. And let's copy it around because we're going to need a couple of those. One down here and one here. Let's change the size of these to about that, and just copy these across, and let's copy this again because we're going to need that, and increase the size of both. Alright, now this very one, I'm going to design this, change the color of these to maybe white, or maybe control light. Let's come right here, and that's it, control light. I will copy that, copy and paste it right in here. And just drag it that much. That will be the design for my interface. Okay, so I'm going to need a couple of those, one here and one more here, in fact two more really. Move these, we're going to need these here as well. Alright, maybe one more here. We're going to make it look all much better. Now come down here, let's grab checkbox. Need some checkbox here. We need about 10 of those. Okay, then we also need text box. One here, another one here, copy both. Alright, Now let's get a label. A label here. Up here we need a label, and that very label we need it right on top. That's fine. And paste. Let's call that object oriented inventory calculator. Right, let's change the size of that text box to about 48. There we go, change that to about 48. Make that bold right there. Just move it that much. Okay, so what I will do now is I want to speed up the design of this whole interface and get back to you guys. So this is how the system is looking right now. We can delete this and just copy this across. And we're gonna need some buttons here, but let's speed up the design of the whole interface anyway. Alright guys, this is how the whole interface looks now. Just have to speed it up. I'm going to run it for the first time and you see how it looks. Yeah, this is how it all looks. Okay, but none of this button do nothing. So I'm going to close that. The first part of it is, let's take care of this very button. That's easy. This very one. Double click on that. And right in here, let's declare a variable for that. Dialog result equals I exit. Right there. And let's add the following built-in function. So message box dot show. So let's go for confirm. Confirm if you want to exit. Alright. And come right down here, enter a comma, and the name of the project, I'm just going to enter that in the object oriented inventory calculator. Right, that's the name. Now let's add another built-in function, and that's going to be for the buttons that I will use. That's message box button dot yes no. Then finally one other built-in function that will be for the icon, this very one, dot question. Okay, enter a semicolon there, and right underneath let's enter if statement. If the dialog box, that is if exit I exit equals dialog result. Let's try that again. Dialog result, double click on it, dot yes, enter your curly braces there. That will be double equals compare. Okay, let's enter application dot exit. Right there, we need parentheses in here. That is it. There, that is it. That's for our exit. From here down here, those are the lines of code for the exit. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go straight into the project here. Click on the project because the whole program is going to be based on objects. So let's create 3 objects. There are 3 objects. That will be fine. The first object, I'm going to call that. Let's create one for tax. Let's say C tax. That's the very first object. Create C tax. That's object C tax right there. The next object, let's create another one, another object, and this one I'm going to call this very object maybe product. I want to call it C product. Yep, the C stands for class. There we go. And the next object, I'm going to call that, let's create another one, call that C price. So this one is going to be for the price. There, make sure object is selected. There we go, guys. So now that we have our three objects there, the first one here, let me use product first. Inside product, I will declare the following variables. So the very first variable, that will be private double. Okay, so I'm going to call it food. Let's say food item 1. So that is my very first variable there declared. So just copy this. I will need about 10 of those, or 11 of those actually. So I'm going to just speed that up. So that's the very first variable. So I will now declare another one for the drinks. These are just for, let's call that drinks. Drink item 1. Okay, let's just copy that and speed it up as well. Alright, both food and drinks item are declared. So the next thing I would like to do now is, I might as well just calculate all of this together. Okay, right underneath here, let's say public. Let's go for double. That will be get amount. And let's come right down, scroll down, enter the curly braces there. And in there, the first thing I'll do is to get this variable there. And let's say equals, add up all of the content in here. So that's going to be +2, +3, and so on. Okay, that's for the food item. The next one will be for the drinks item. There, that is for the drinks item. Then we now have to return, let's say food underscore item plus drinks underscore items, and there we go. Alright, but this is still not going to do anything, because the reason being all of our data in here are all private. So, and that means private actually they must have properties. The properties in this case will allow us to be able to gain access into it. But if we don't set it as private, the problem is the other data will be able to gain access, and changes can be carried out at any time. So let's try and write out the private property for each of these variables. Okay, before declaring the properties for all of these private variables, I'm going to first of all create a value here, a private value for them. So let's say private double value, I'm going to say equals 0 there. So I will start by declaring as follows, since they are all private. So I'm going to make it public double, and let's call the first one food item 1, food item 1. Right, so right in here, let's enter our curly braces, and right inside the curly braces, let me go for set. Okay, and what I'm setting is going to be my very first item, and that is the food item, this very one up here. So I'm going to copy that. That's my food item 1 equals the value that was set up there. Okay, that is food item 1, but let's have a look. Supposing it is 0. Okay, let's use an if statement up here. If I use an if statement, okay, let's copy this and say get, change this to get equals, the get will become, let it return a value, and the value that is returned will return food item. Right, return food item. But the other thing is, supposing, okay, let's say if value is less than or equals to 0 in here. Okay, let's come back here and say if the value is less than or equals to 0, this is what I want you to do. Okay, and get. Alright, that is fine for the very first property. So I can just copy this, copy all of that, and that will be the second one, less than and equals to 0. Okay, let's come in here, paste that, and change this to 2, and this become food item 2 as well. Return food item 2. Okay, I suppose you guys get the whole idea now. So if I come in here and collapse that, you see, so the whole purpose is so that no any other data member won't be able to gain access to the value we have in here. That's the whole idea. I can always use public for it, but that means everyone else can gain access to it. So that is for that's for food item number 4. As you can see, it's all the same thing. All I'm just doing is changing the variable names. Look at it, it's the same name here. Those are the name I'm calling. So I'm going to sort of like speed that up and get back to you guys. Alright, that is it for the food items. I'm going to collapse that. It's all the same lines of code, and we would repeat exactly the same thing for the drinks item right there. Those are the lines of code for the drinks item. You can see, as you can see, it's all the same thing. It's just the names that have changed. Okay, if you have a look, let me open this one up. You can see that's food item, that's properties for food item, and properties for drinks item. And up here, that's where I've added them all together, and that's the final result. Okay, now that the product class is taken care of, let's take care of maybe the tags. Yeah, let's come right in here, and right there we're going to declare as follows: public. It's a public double there. That is the tags variable declared, or you can call it data type as well. So let's come down here and then let's go for public double, and let's call it find tags, and let's say double C amount. So that's the variable within the parentheses. Okay, and enter curly braces. So what I would then do is I'm going to say double double fine tax, so that's another variable that I'm declaring, equals C amount minus or subtract, whatever you like, you can call it a C amount. Let's multiply that by whatever value we have up here. Okay, the variable we have up here, multiply it by that, and let's enter curly braces there. Then we have the system or the class to return as follows: return tax. There. So those are that is the very lines of code for the tax itself. If you're wondering why didn't I enter it in here, I just want to modularize all of the class, that's why it's there. The other one that I'm going to take care of now is that will be the price. Okay, so what I will do is let's declare all of the price. In total that will be about 20. So let's say public. We're going to make the class public because the price can always change, so that you can change it when you like. The very first price, so let's call it food price. Food price 1. The food price number 1 equals 2.3. Okay, so let's repeat exactly the same thing. So we're gonna need about 10 of those. Alright, just need to now change the values around and the numbers. Okay, all the variables for the class, they are all ready now. Okay, so we have that of the product, that's it there. Okay, I will go to look at it. The variable for the product, and this is where I added it all up, and the private properties, the properties for the products, there they are. Okay, so the properties for the food is the same thing, it's the same lines of code for the drinks. Okay, and the tax there. Alright, that's that all done. Now let's come into our program now and come right in here. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to end up creating 3 objects. Okay, double click on total. The first object, let's go for either one. Okay, let's say price. Okay, so we can just call that items, item price equals new price. There, that's the very first one. Okay, then let's create object product, C product, because let's just go for food drink equals new C product. There. And what about tax? So let's just say tax equals, no, let's give the object a name, equals iTax equals new CTax. There guys, I've just finished creating 3 objects for those 3 classes. Okay, without those objects we won't be able to gain access into those classes. Okay, now guys, let's add up all of the price. So the first thing we want to do is to call data we have in here. So let's come back down here. So that of the food and drink. So food and drink dot. So let's go for food first. Food item number 1 there equals the price. Let's say price. Copy that, paste that in there. Dot. That'll be food price number 1. We'll multiply that by whatever we have in there. Let's say double dot pass, and that will be, let's find out the name of the very first item here. That is celery. That'll be celery. Yeah, that is correct. Copy that back in here. Celery dot text and semicolon. So that's the very first item. So the very first item, whatever number you enter in here, let's say you want 10 celery, that will be 10 multiplied by this price is stored in here. So that is it. So the next one, I'm just going to copy and paste, then speed it up. We need 10 of those for the food. Okay, I'm going to speed that up. Okay guys, for the drinks is for the food is all ready. So let's take care of the one I call drinks. So that'll be food drinks dot, that'll be drink 1 equals, that's going to be the same price, item price dot the one drink. Okay, now we need to multiply that by dot pass, and right here, which one what do I have in here? Okay, we have tea, coffee and so on. No, it's coffee. Alright, this is all wrong then. Okay, so this should have been wine and so on. Right, back in here we have tea right there. txt t dot text. Okay, so here was meant to be wine, txt wine. Alright, so you guys get the whole idea. So I'm now going to now speed this one up as well. Okay guys, all the prices are now in order. Okay, now let's sum everything up. So to sum it all up, it's left to you. I'm going to declare a public variable up here. It doesn't have to be up there, you can always make it a private variable. That's my variable there. Okay, in here, okay, inside there, let's get whatever value we have in here. So that will be equals, let's call the food and drinks, yeah, food and drink equals dots thing get amount right there. So whatever we have in there in the get amount, you guys, if you can still remember what we have here, right up here I have, this is where I added up food and drink, so I've just called it now right in here. Okay, that's that done. The next thing for us to do is to add up the tax. I think the tax, what did I call the variable for the tax? I-taxes, this very one equals, I think that would be C-tax, no, that is actually that would be I tags, yeah, dot find tags, this very one. Okay, then we now need to work out what we have in here inside the subtotal. So paste that. No, that will be the subtotal. I subtotal. Paste that right in there. There. Now that we know the subtotal, we have worked out the tags. Now I'm going to add these two together to get the total. So for the total, right here, just say I total equals these two here, subtotal plus I tags. Okay. No. There. That is it. Now we now need to enter all of this into onto the objects. So let's find out the names of these objects. This very one is called what? LBL tags, and the next one is LBL subtotal, and this one should be LBL total. So that is fine. Okay, let's copy that. Come right down here, back into our code there. So the first one is LBL tags.text equals, because it will only accept string value, I'm going to have to convert it. Convert dot format. Okay, and what are we formatting? So that's going to be 0 column C, like it formatted to pound sign. And what I'm formatting in this case is going to be comma tags I tags. There. The first one is done. Copy. Now there's no point. Let's come in here and say LBL subtotal. We can just copy the same thing, paste it there, and change the subtotal. And the next one is LBL total, really. Copy that, paste, change this to total I total, and this one is I subtotal, I sub. There, that is it. So we finish with the coding for the calculation. That is fine. So run the program now and see. Okay, the program is running now. So let's try out the calculation. I'm going to enter 4 there, click on total. There we go, guys. So supposing I add more, yeah, see that? That's how you use object oriented to calculate. So it's not finished yet, because all of these I still need to just modify it a bit, but the most important bit is the calculation. It's all taken care of. This is not working, about that's the only bit that works. Okay, so everything is fine, but there's one big error. I cannot do anything. I have to highlight before I can add a value, so we need to take care of that as well. And the whole idea of this combo box is to enable all of these text box. So what we will do first is to disable all of these text box and enable it with combo box. Alright, okay, now that the most important bit is taken care of anyway, I'll call it the end of this first part of this tutorial, and I'll continue with the second part. just carry out the modification. See you guys later.